everyone, welcome to another round of Chitter Chatter. And today's Chitter Chatter is about Indian spirituality. Well, we have today on our Chitter Chatter Swami Nityananda Charan, and we are talking about his current book, The Icon of Grace. Well, we have a lot to talk because also this month is Holi month, which is the month where Krishna loved to play Holi with his Radharanis and everyone. So let's get started with Swamiji about our Chitter Chatter about his current book, where in this book there are 21 lives that define the Indian spirituality. Though Indian spirituality is a huge... Hello, welcome
Hare
to Chitter
Krishna.
Chatter. Hare Krishna.
My pleasure. Thank you for inviting.
So to begin with, the topic that you've touched, there's so much to talk that it can't be said in one chitter chatter. There's a lot that we can chit chat about. But you have managed to define it in one book with 21 lives that actually have defined spirituality, the Indian spirituality. So tell us a little about your book, please.
So India has always been known for its spirituality. That is our strength. And the book talks about those great souls who have given it to us. And the book is an expression of our gratitude. The book is nothing but a way of saying thank you, because we always find solace, we find shelter in spirituality. The whole world is turning to spirituality. They look up to India. And so we are basically, I can say, we are enjoying the culture that we have been blessed with, but we should not forget those people who have passed it on to us, given it to us, who went through so much, set the right example for us to follow, and what to do when things go wrong. They have taught by their own example. They have taught many valuable lessons. So the whole purpose of the book was to make the present generation aware of our spiritual legacy, to glorify these great souls for what they have done, because they deserve this glorification.
True.
And in every field, we need a role model. So in spirituality also, we need role models. So therefore, anyone who is desiring to walk on this path, these role models can guide them, their example. Somebody who's looking for some nourishment in their spiritual life, they can find that nourishment from the book, from their lives. And there's a lot more. But essentially, it's an expression of gratitude, and it's an attempt to preserve our spiritual legacy. Because we can say the spiritual culture is the roots that binds all of us together. So therefore, if the roots are not there, however big the tree might be, it will be gone. So to bring us back to where we belong, the book is aiming at that.
And I must say, the way it is written, it is so simple that suddenly spirituality seemed fun and very modern. It's like modernized for even youngsters who usually take like, oh, we're too young to get spiritual, can easily read it, connect to it, learn from it. So was it a very conscious effort?
Yeah, the purpose is, of course, to appeal to the younger generation, because that's where we need to preserve. So my target audience has been anyone above 13 till 40. So I've tried to simplify it so that even a 13 years old child can understand. Anybody can understand. And it is very important that we simplify spiritual truths. Because sometimes we see that somebody is speaking, but they complicate things more and more. And after we've heard, we say, oh, he spoke so well. But what did he speak? Oh, that I don't understand, but he spoke very well. So somehow the standard of spirituality nowadays, because of the age we are living in, has become good oratorship, word jugglery. And people don't understand, and because they don't understand, they don't apply. So we have to make sure that we simplify things, especially in our fast-paced lives when we do not have the time, necessary focus. So we have to make things very, very simple, and that was the goal. And I tried to focus on that. And I'm glad that even the younger generation is able to relate to it, and they are reading. Some children are reading, I'm seeing. The teenagers are reading, the youngsters are reading, and of course, elders are anyways reading. But this has been the target audience. Because if I can simplify it for this generation, then others will automatically understand. The language has to be very
Absolutely.
simple.
Like there's a saying that, if you can explain it to a 4-year-old, you have understood the matter.
Yes.
And that is exactly what you are doing, telling the youngsters that, okay, this is what it is. Because like you rightly said, that, today spirituality is so much complex that actually people tend to get scared that, oh, you know what, if I have to get onto this path, I have to, like, it's going to be damn confusing. I'll have to do this and that. And here you made it so simple for everyone.
So I'm glad that you understood this aspect of the book.
Also, Swamiji, I'm sure you must have heard this very often. When people started reading this book, though it is 21 lives, but they are 21 great lives that have come to the earth and actually have taught us so much. And even through these few pages, there's so much of learning. So, what are the things that people have told you after reading the book?
So essentially, I keep getting feedback, and the most prominent ones are always related to how they felt nourished and how they felt a deep sense of satisfaction of reading these accounts of various saints, and how they didn't know, although they had heard all these names or some of the names, but they didn't know so much in detail and how rich our spiritual heritage is. So how much they learned and how much impact it had on their consciousness, their mental state. These are the two types of feedback which I get generally, and how easily relatable it is. And books like these, not because I have written, but since it deals with subject matter which is spiritual, eternal, these books don't have a shelf life.
Right.
And it's not that once you read it, you can't, oh, it's done. You can reread it 10,000 times, and every time you'll find something new. So this is something like you can carry wherever you go, and you just open few pages, and if you're feeling like your battery is discharged, just read few pages and you will feel surcharged with spiritual energy, and then go on performing your worldly duties. It's like that, you say, we carry that power bank wherever we go. So the book can act like
So,
that.
guys, this is the power bank that you need to buy and read and tell Swamiji how it recharged you. Well, you can see from my thing, from my chitter chatter, that how recharged I am after this book. And like Swamiji said, you don't have to be an avid reader. You can just pick up the book, read about one of the saints. You
Yeah.
can go back and read, because the more you read, you will discover a lot more things, and you may also have a lot more questions, which you can always DM Swamiji and you might get answers for them. So go ahead after this chitter chatter and buy your copies of Icons of Grace.
Thank you. When did you
So
get the copy?
Swamiji, like you said, we
When
are
did?
a rich heritage. Sorry,
Yeah.
yeah. Sorry, I kind of lost you. What were you saying?
I was asking, when did you get the copy?
I got the copy a while back, and when I got it, immediately I started reading. Obviously, I wanted to recharge my battery completely, so it wasn't like one by one. I was through it. As much I thought, oh, okay, let me read about Mirabai, and then I will go to Kuleskar, and then I will go to, the next one. But I was just at it. Like, for me, it was in 2 days, I was done with it. And then, yes, on and off, I was like, okay, today I want to read a little about Sant Tukaram, and then I went back. So that was a thing.
Great. Thank you.
Also, we have a lot of people here sending you a lot of their namastes, their hugs, their regards. Poet underscore Pratik says, thanks for writing this kind of a book. It's not just spirituality, it's also history. Jajoba by Jyoti says that yes, we are individuals not born with the roots and become a rich tree. Though, if we don't read, we might just become the poor, nourished tree. And yes, there are lots of other compliments that are coming your way. Ritu Vivek says, exactly, we feel supercharged after reading each story. I am feeling more charged even today chatting with you, and it's such a pleasure to have you here on this Chitter Chatter talking about icons of grace.
I like the name Chitter Chatter. That name is quite nice. Yes.
Thank you. So, when did you decide that you wanted to write this book?
You know, it was 2020 where I did a series of lectures when the lockdown started, which I always wanted to do. Because if you go through the scriptures, one of the cardinal principles of Bhakti Yoga is that the Lord is extremely pleased with those who glorify and serve his devotees than those who serve him directly. So if I speak something about Krishna, yes, Krishna will be happy. But if I speak something in glorification of his devotees, he will be million times happy. So this was in my mind that I wanted to do a series to glorify the dearmost servants of Krishna. But before COVID, it wasn't possible because all my days were packed. Morning, evening, there were sessions. So when this COVID happened, then I didn't have to travel. I could have 5 sessions also in a day. So that's when I did a series, Saints of India. I called it Jewels of India. And then in 2021, suddenly this idea popped up that why not just make a book out of it, because book has wider outreach, plus the printed word always has more power. Even if somebody writes rubbish, but if a person is reading it, even if it's a newspaper or a magazine or a book, it acts as if it is the absolute truth. And a person subconsciously accepts what is being printed. So the desire just popped up, and that's when I decided, let's just do it. And then, of course, God's grace, everything was quite smooth. And reaching out to the publishers or through literary agents or people who were helping me to reach out, and I just wanted, as soon as I decided that this book should be out, I mean it should be done, every morning I would get up with the thought, when will I get the book in my hand? When the book was not even ready, the manuscript was not ready, it had not even gone to anyone, not to speak of sending it out to anyone, it wasn't even ready. From March I was like waiting for the book. And I knew that when the publishers sign, they take at least 6, 7, 8, 9 months. So it was, I was very impatient also sometimes with my literary agents. I said, when? I even explored all the options of self-publication. For like 5, 6 months, I was doing thorough research. And then in August is when I signed with Westland, although there were 2, 3 offers. And and what made me sign that is when I asked them when can they publish the book. So it was August, they said December. Then there was no looking back. I said, December, this is what I want, as soon as possible. And they were quite helpful. So that's how the whole thing happened, and it just, I could see the grace flowing throughout, how smoothly it was done. And the cover came out stunning, and everybody just loved the cover. I loved the cover. In just one go, we finalized it. Just exactly the way I wanted, and it is so mystical that I didn't mention it to them what kind of cover I want, but I was thinking that the cover should have the pictures of the saints, but they should not be actual pictures, but some kinds of shadows. And when the cover came out, you can see the saints are there, but they're like, the images are not, they're vague. So it gives a very mystical feeling. The Krishna's picture is also very mystical. So whatever I had in mind, it just manifested on the cover without even communicating it to them.
So
Because I
since we are
wanted
talking about
the
the cover, I want the viewers to see the cover so that the ones who've still not got their copy, they know exactly what we're talking about. And like you said, it is mystical. It is like a painting. Like I being an artist, the moment I saw the cover, generally on the platform itself, I was like, oh my god, this is beautiful. And when I had the cover in my hand, the blue and the gold and all the figures with, the silhouette, it just made it more magical. So though people said don't judge a book by the cover, I had already judged it because I was in love with the cover. So I need to read further.
So, one more thing, blue is Krishna's color and golden is Radharani's color. She has a golden complexion. So that also just happened. The blue
In
and
fact,
golden
I
combination.
feel our chitter chatter also was meant to happen because when you say Holi, the first Holi that comes to mind for every Krishna Bhakt is the Vrindavan ki Holi. So
Yes.
for me, I was like, oh my god, this is the best Holi that I can have, having this chitter chatter, talking about Krishna, about Krishna's devotees. So this is like literally like a blessing for me on my chitter chatter.
Yeah, I was in Vrindavan last week, and the Holi goes on for 1 month, one full month in Vrindavan. Everywhere there are colors, and they play Holi with laddus, sweets, butter, milk. So we just play with the colors, but they have everything. And it is a festival of the spiritual world. It doesn't belong to this material world. It's a festival of the spiritual world, and Radha Krishna, when they descended to this world 5,000 years ago, they brought it down. And so the festival, how they play is that there is Radharani's party with her Sakhis, Krishna's party with his friends. They throw colors, they throw flower balls, they throw gulal, pichkari, and they throw sweets. And but in every competition, Radharani and her party wins because
Okay.
Krishna likes it that way. He wants his beloved to win. He likes to be conquered through love. We cannot conquer him through power, but through love he is easily conquered. So anybody who loves him can easily conquer Krishna. Krishna becomes a bound, captive prisoner of his uh, devotees, those who love him.
Thank you for sharing this beautiful story of Holi, how it started, and also how we can love Krishna more and also make him love us more. So all you have to do is Radhe Radhe and Krishna is going to love us, is what
Yes,
I
true,
would say.
true.
So, like we were discussing, the spiritual heritage is so huge. It's like a universe in itself. To zero down on 21 lives as your first book, how difficult was it?
It wasn't that difficult. Uh, it's not that I chose that number 21, but I wanted to focus on the most prominent ones in the last 1,000 years. Of course, there have been others also, but I just wanted to focus on the first layer of uh, the saints who have made the maximum contribution. So maybe in future I will write another book based on the other set of devotees. There are countless such souls. So as I focused on the most prominent ones, the number also turned out to be 21. So that was the initial thought, maybe just name the book 21. But then I just wanted to name it that it does full justice to the subject matter of the book, and that the title of the book should give an idea about what's there in the book. So it wasn't that difficult, I think. I had already done a series of lectures, so I had picked the most prominent names. So it wasn't that difficult a choice.
Also, Guruji, we know the grace was there on the book right from the time you decided to write. You had the time from publishing to everything. But what was still the most challenging factor for you while writing Icons of Grace?
As I said, I was in a hurry. So every morning I was getting up, when will the book come into my hands? And I knew it was like not a very practical thought. So I was trying to finish it as soon as possible. So initially the transcript was 1,90,000 words. So then the literary agent, she told me that, you have to at least bring it down to 90,000 max. Nowadays people are reading 60,000, 70,000 words. So to bring that down from 1,80,000 to 90,000, then to 82,000. It was a challenge because I had to edit a lot of portion, and I had to, that means to remove a lot of stories, a lot of descriptions. So, but then I consoled myself saying that in one book, how much can you write? There is a book on each of these individuals.
Right.
Each one of these individuals have a book or more than a book on their based on their life. So I thought this is Kali Yuga, and people want like crash courses. So let me just give them a crash course through this book. I'm putting everything together, and that will, so that even if somebody wants to know about Tukaramji, they don't have to look for a book separately. Everything is there. All these most prominent Tulsidas, okay, it's there. Vallabhacharya, it's there, and these saints are from all parts of India. So from north, south, east, west. So difficult, I wouldn't say, just that. And the publishers also make it easy. Once they accept your manuscript, then they do the hard work. But the difficult the part was, the most difficult part was the wait, the long wait. I would say that was the most difficult part. Otherwise, it was fun, and sometimes I was sitting on my computer for 10 hours, for weeks, 2 weeks, like that. So that was fun. But the difficult part was only this, the wait. And I was getting very restless because the publishing houses, they take their own time to analyze the manuscript and then get back, because they have their whole system that they have to follow. And I was like, every day it was getting difficult. When? So August, when they said December, I said, fine, let's go ahead. Can't wait anymore. So wait was the most difficult part.
We were talking about that we are in Kali Yuga, and you had to cut down on the words because in Kali Yuga you need short courses, so you needed a book with shorter words, and
Still
you
it is
also
360.
talk.
Still it is 360 pages. So I thought it would be around
Because
280 pages, but it turned out to be 360 after formatting and typesetting.
so people don't get scared. 360 pages, you can still read one page a day, if not
Yes.
much.
Yes, true. In 1 year it will be done.
So, Prabhuji, I was about to say, you have these reels on your Insta handle where you're giving crash courses on Bhagavad Gita in 1 minute and all of that. And there is amazing learning in those 1 minute. Like, it's like the energy pack of that 1 minute. So, when you started podcasting at that time, did you actually think that, this is how Kali Yuga mein I am going to spread awareness?
Yeah, because I understand where people are coming from now. There was a time where people could sit and watch like 1 hour long videos. Now you see in the media also 3 hour movies. Now they have web series, 30 minutes,
Right.
40 minutes. People are not basically, you can say, the mind. The mind is compared to monkey. Therefore they say jo man ki sune wo monkey. Mind in the mind is called man, and the mind's job is to keep jumping from one thing to the other, just like a monkey is jumping. So we are not that stable nowadays. We want like quick solutions, jumping from one thing to the other. So to grab people's attention is very difficult. So in very few seconds or a minute, you have to tell what you want to tell, and at the same time you have to give them the essence. So आजकल लोगों को चाहिए कि जल्दी जल्दी क्या मिल सकता है. So therefore I even designed a course. Like Gita can take like 3 years, it can take whole lifetime. So I have done it few times. Uh, Gita, 18 chapters, 18 sessions. One chapter in one
Oh,
session.
wow.
Where you could, all that is available on SoundCloud app. So everything that I've spoken in the last 2 years, it's available on the SoundCloud app. You just type the name. But I have done that 3-4 times, like one chapter in one session in 1 hour. Because even before we begin these things, people want to know when will it end, how many sessions. So we have to give them some hope. अभी वो 18 का 25 सेशन हो जाए, they won't mind. But you have to give them that hope from the beginning. It's not much. It's 3 months, 2 months, it's 7 sessions, 18 sessions. Because people want to do it. But just that they need that, their mind, because the nature of the mind is to turn work into workload. So if you tell them 2 years, the mind will just rebel. 18 sessions. Okay, it's doable, it's manageable. So of course I couldn't continue that 1 minute thing, but I have a recorded version of the Gita, 20 minutes each. Every day, if you could just hear 20, there are 64 audios on that SoundCloud, only 20 minutes a day. In 2 months, your Gita will be done. And each audio is around 20 minutes, explaining 6-7 verses of the Gita from the beginning. So we have to just keep innovating with time. Like nowadays, you have YouTube videos, 3-4 minutes, 5 minutes. And now then they have come up with YouTube shorts because they understood that is also important. So we have
We
to
also
just,
have now Amazon Mini. So
oh,
everything is coming in a mini series.
that I didn't know. This is new for me. So it is something which is with the flow. We're just going with the flow, and every now and then some idea pops up, and we have to keep giving whatever we can, understanding uh, the lifestyle we are living in, where we can't focus on one thing for more than maybe 5 minutes. So it's challenging, of course. It's challenging. It is easier to speak for 1 hour than to speak the same thing in 5 minutes. Like to make a
Right.
1 hour video, it's not difficult for me. But to make a 1 minute reel, it might take a week.
So, on this note only, there is the copywriter Bharat Dabolkar sir had once mentioned that I can write really long passages, but to write a copyright and to sell a product with one line is the most
Yes.
difficult.
So that's a challenge.
So we have Aruna GK Live here saying, I'm just curious if one wants to learn, do time is essential or span of time particularly which is important?
Uh, can I just read this question? I'm not
So the
getting it.
question is, I am just curious if one wants to learn, do time is essential or span of time particularly is which is important?
I didn't get it. Could you elaborate on this?
Anurag, if you could elaborate in the comments so that we know that what you're asking is exactly what we are thinking, so we can maybe give you a
Yeah.
reply.
Yes.
Also, Rekha Jadwani saying, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, just have one question. Why is only Bhagavad Gita considered to show the path of life and for moksha? I do chant 2 rounds of Hare Krishna.
Hmm. See, there are different scriptures. There are Vedas, there are Puranas, there are Upanishads, there is Vedanta Sutra, there is Mahabharata, there is Ramayana, then there is Gita, there is Bhagavad. So each scripture is meant for a particular category of people. It has a specific mission. Not every scripture is meant for everyone. Just like in a school, not every textbook is meant for everyone. Somebody who's studying in LKG, he will have a different textbook than the one who's studying in 7th, 8th standard, than the one who's studying in PhD. So different scriptures are catering to needs of different individuals with various levels of intelligence existing in human society. And the purpose of them is one, to gradually elevate them, understanding where they are from that platform. And Gita is the complete scripture, and it gives you knowledge about the highest. If you read Upanishads, Vedas, you may not even understand who God is, what is the purpose of life, because they are dealing with 1+1. But if you want to understand trigonometry, algebra, higher mathematics, then you come to Gita and then you come to Bhagavad. So it's a complete scripture. All scriptures, other scriptures are compared to a pocket dictionary, which will have like simple words, come, go, sit, here, there. And a Chambers dictionary will have these words plus much, much more. So Gita is like a Chambers dictionary. Other scriptures are like pocket dictionary. So they are meant for different categories of individuals who gradually elevate them. But those who are already evolved, more advanced, and they are ready to understand the higher subject matter, Gita is there. And it is
Okay,
spoken by
Aruna has
Krishna.
elaborated on her question. If I have to learn important things, 1 hour or 1 minute, do I need to count time?
Depends how intelligent you are, how easily you can grab. And learning involves three things. There are 3 steps. The process of learning involves Shravanam, hearing first from the right authority, from the right person. Second is Mananam, contemplating what you have heard. And that contemplation could also mean you discuss it with your near and dear ones. Because once you discuss what you've heard, you will never forget it. Otherwise, it's been proved that if you don't revise what you have heard, what you have learned, in like 2 days, you forget 75%. So the process of learning, first step is hearing. Second is Mananam, contemplation. Third is application. If you don't apply what you are hearing, you will not get realizations. And if you don't get realizations, your faith will not grow. So you have to apply what you hear to increase your faith, because then you'll see, oh, it works. So this is one. So yes, there are, like if you read in the book about Madhvacharya, Ramanujacharya, Shankaracharya, they could learn things very fast if you are that blessed. I mean, 10 years of education they completed in a year, if you are that elevated. Provided we understand what is the purpose and we are able to apply it in our life. The time doesn't matter. To perfect your life, even one moment is enough. But we should know what the perfection of life is. And for that, we need to hear from a proper guru, who himself is a representative of God, a bona fide representative, I would say, because not everybody is bona fide also. But all that glitters is gold. We have to understand who is a bona fide guru from scriptures. So in the Gita itself, Krishna has mentioned 3 steps to learning. Approaching a bona fide guru, tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. You approach a bona fide guru, number 1. Second, inquire from him submissively, not challengingly, submissively. And third, render service unto him. Why render service? Because if we render service to the person whom we are hearing from, then whatever we have learned gets digested. Otherwise, it can cause indigestion also. Then it comes out as pride, arrogance. So, service to the Guru also keeps us humble. And humility is the first step when it comes to knowledge.
So now, before I go on the last section of our chitter chatter, do you have your copy around so that we could have a selfie moment with your book?
I'll have to just get it. It's in my cupboard. You'll give me 2 seconds. It's right here.
You have 5. So all the viewers, thank you for joining our chitter chatter. We are still here. We are going to take a selfie moment and then we're going to play a small rapid fire and see 2 seconds. That was like quick. Okay, just 1 second. Let me take my copy. I'm taking a little longer. So yeah, here it is. That's one selfie moment. Thank you, Swamiji. And now I'm coming to the last Kalyug chitter chatter moment, which is I'm gonna say one word, and the first thing that comes to your mind. So, are you ready?
How many questions do you have?
It's a very quick rapid fire, so we'll be done in like no time.
But
the first thing that comes to your mind, and just a word or two on that.
Yeah.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. What is the question?
Hare Krishna. I'm going to say one word, and the first word that comes to your mind the moment I say the word.
Okay, okay. Let's start.
So let's start. Hare Krishna.
Radha Krishna.
Icons of grace.
The saints.
Mirabai.
Absorption.
Ramaniyacharya.
Dedication and surrender to Guru.
Kulasekhar.
Absorption again.
Hita Harivansh.
Devotion to Radharani.
Swami Haridas.
His devotional singing.
Vallabhacharya.
Krishna's Bala Swarup.
Tulsidas.
Hard work. struggle,
Haridas Thakur.
tolerance,
Madhvacharya.
preaching spirit,
Surdas.
simple devotion,
Rupa Goswami.
dedication to the mission,
Jiva Goswami.
humility,
And lastly, Chitter Chatter with Shweta Roira.
exciting, and refreshing. Especially the way you
Thank you,
ask questions.
Swamiji, for your time.
Energetic.
Sorry, we lost you. What?
Energetic, exciting. Can you hear?
Yes, now I can hear you.
I have many words for you, not just one word. So
We are all yours. You can give us a few more words.
energetic, exciting, pure, devotional, and simple.
Thank you, Swamiji. You just made my day. And thank you so much for being a part of this Chitter Chatter and blessing our Chitter Chatter with this beautiful chat and enlightening chat. We're looking forward for many more Chitter Chatters and many more books from you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Hare Krishna. Wait for the next one. That is also something uh, which is in a simplified way, but just like you said, many topics covered in one book. So that is also something like that. I won't reveal the content or I'll just let it be a mystery. But
So viewers, be ready for this mystery because we are going to reveal this mystery very soon in the coming Chitter Chatters. Until then, enjoy your copy of Icons of Grace and do let us know how you like the book. Spread the word, DM, do all of it out there and enjoy reading and Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Shweta. Hare Krishna.